The Law Foundation, their support is critical to our ability to provide the services we do through the Laws program. In fact, we wouldn't be able to run without the Law Foundation.
The Law Foundation is really making a difference in terms of refugees that we help, because that provides an increase of possibilities to win.
Well, from my perspective, what makes it really unique is that it's got its heart in making the justice system better.
I was a C, B average, and I moved up in just a year. I became an A student, and I was on the honor roll, all because of the Laws program.
In 1974, the Ontario government passed groundbreaking legislation creating the Law Foundation of Ontario. This new law directed that interest earned on lawyers' mixed trust accounts would be paid to the foundation. The same legislation directed the Law Foundation to use those funds for legal aid, legal research, and legal education. Today, the foundation has evolved to make a difference in the lives of countless Ontarians.
For me, it's vitally important that the Law Foundation continue to prosper, because what it's able to do is to provide the resources for projects that serve Ontarians that would not otherwise be served by the justice system at all.
Well, it's very important that the lawyers know that the monies that are going from their trust accounts, from their mixed trust accounts, is performing a very valuable service in the community, both with respect to legal aid generally and the 25% that goes to the Law Foundation of Ontario, which supports so many valuable community initiatives.
As a granting agency, they're able to choose the best service providers that come to them with good ideas.
By law, 75% of the Foundation's revenues go directly to Legal Aid Ontario. The remaining 25% of the Foundation's revenues support various vulnerable groups in our population.
Luke's Place Support and Resource Centre supports abused women and their children through the family law process. The Law Foundation has provided us with much needed funding for an innovative project we pursued. We determined the need to start a pro bono summary advice clinic on site at Luke's Place, as we were noting that more than 60% of the women that we were working with could not afford a lawyer and did not qualify for legal aid. I mean, we hear overwhelmingly how we've saved their lives and helped them through an extremely difficult time, help them feel empowered and ready to tackle such a daunting process. The funding from the Law Foundation of Ontario has been critical to support this project. Without it, we simply wouldn't be able to offer this much needed service.
I'm really grateful for FCJ. I left Nigeria because my life was at risk, was in danger. And the night it came, I was very glad that this is where they brought me.
The women that stay in our houses have helped, by all the other resources that we have. So basically, the funding is core for the delivery of our model.
I received the support that I was looking for when I came with my family. We didn't know exactly how is the process here, how is the law, how the step that we have to follow, and it was very helpful.
When you go to a lawyer, the lawyer said, well, that's extrajudicial. It's nothing that we can do. Legal aid don't cover that. When the lawyer mentioned that, we kick in. And that's the money that we receive, exactly to complement the legal service with the extrajudicial services that we provide. And our rate of success with the refugees is around 95%. That is way over the national average, that is around 49–50%.
I feel safe here. Even though I left everything, my family, my business, but I'm here, my life. I'm still here, because when you're alive, you have hope. So I hope for a better tomorrow.
The support from the Law Foundation will be one of the key elements for our success.
The Law Foundation makes it a priority to invest in partnerships that have the greatest impact, such as the Laws program.
The Laws program is a fairly unusual 3-year program, intensive academic program.
We recruit students into the laws program who come from lower socioeconomic background. They may also identify with ethnic, cultural minority communities, and they also may be at risk for not getting through high school and going on to post-secondary. So they identify with communities who have been underrepresented in the post-secondary education.
For the laws program, we were all in grade 9, and we really had no aspirations. It was just go to school, see which direction life takes you in, and I guess we got really lucky.
I was just sitting in the guidance counselor's office, and then I looked at the poster that they had about the laws program, and it looked interesting. So I asked the guidance counselor about it, and she let me in. So now I have a sense of direction. I'm going to go to U of T and do criminology.
So students are telling us that when they started laws, they had no direction, they really didn't know where they were going, they worried about their futures. And through the support and resources we've been able to provide them, they've come out of the program with great goals for the future. 2/3 of our class are going on to post-secondary institutions, either college or university.
Well, there was always troubles at home and just like financial problems, and there was really no foundation for university because it's like it's a lot of money, so it's just like it wasn't really a big thing if I went or not. So when I got into the laws program, they were so focused on a future, a career. Going into post-secondary education is what is going to make you change from, you know, a student into a young woman. And it was that transformation that I went through in the laws program.
It feels good. It feels good that I can be an A student. Like, I never thought that I could be an A student, but now I am, and it's really good.
So they're really a dream foundation for an organization like Laws to work with.
Grants are made for a wide range of legal issues. In recent years, the number of grant requests made to the Law Foundation have more than doubled, and the Foundation's grantees continue to provide excellent services to the most vulnerable groups in our society.
Because they view the justice system in a kind of holistic way, it's allowed them to get into a variety of dimensions of the justice system that a narrowly focused granting agency wouldn't, and I think that's wonderful.
The help that is given, education is given to students, for example, through OGEN, or legal assistance through Pro Bono Law Ontario, would not otherwise be available.
The Law Foundation has stepped up in ways that no other organization has.
I do know that this work is vital to the community.